Salute family and welcome back to another video. This is Blacktruthunited, and in this video I want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers. Just last week we were at 290 something, and now at least at the time of recording this video we're sitting at over 500, so much respect to all of you. I know most of you are coming from the Black Alpha Network live that I was on Tuesday. Shout out to Brother Black Alpha for having me on and spreading the word. If you happen to be a subscriber who's not yet subscribed to Brother Black Alpha, definitely subscribe to him up there. Not only is he a great voice in the new black media, but he's active when the screen shuts off. So once again, shout out to him. Now, you know, with more of a spotlight on the work that I've been doing with the B1 Rolodex, the trolls, the Mayo mutants, and the teary-eyed tethers would show up, copying please, trying to weasel their way into the B1 Rolodex and the work that we've been doing, trying to make sure that they don't get listed in the anti-blacklist, etc., etc. And while some of them are very direct, others will try to do slick things like ask vague questions to pretend like they don't understand. And others were even bold enough to email me about whether or not they could just pay to be listed. So in this video I'm going to explain once and for all exactly how to be listed and why it does not involve money. So let me go here right to the B1 Rolodex. Today for the most part we're going to be in the intro and help section. This is where we have a brief explanation of why I started the B1 Rolodex, how to use it, a tutorial video, etc., etc. But right here we have the business listing rules, which haven't really changed for the most part since I started the Rolodex. So here are the rules. No MLM/network marketing companies. I have a whole video on this channel explaining exactly why. No spiritual or religious organizations. I don't want religious banging going on. No forex, crypto, etc., etc. Most of those are scams. Affiliate marketing, not allowed. Illegal products such as drugs or guns. Of course, if you have a legal FFL company, you can get that business listed. And no OnlyFans, XXX content, or anything like that. These are fairly basic rules. Now after these, I break down even further how you can reach out to me. I have my email listed there. And the rules for if you are non-FBA. The main one being that you'll need 2 people who are FBA and who are connected to the black grassroots to vouch for you. Now, because I got some mixed responses, and when some people would reach out, I would be left with question marks, I made a convenient form, which you can go to right here, that puts it all in one concise manner. Your name or alias in the black grassroots, putting a value on that name. If you are FBA or not, if the business owner is FBA, and if not, just like in the instructional section, you have to list 2 people who can vouch for you, who are in the black grassroots. And I give an example there afterwards. Again, we're putting a value on being on code. Then of course you have the business information, as well as at the very bottom, a place where I can contact you, the person who's submitting the form. So simple enough, right? But then you had some people who decided they were going to just reach out to my email or through private messaging to see if they could bypass that whole process and just go right here. Hey, you have a Cash App. I could just Cash App you. Either that or they went to my link tree and saw I had a Cash App and they just figured, hey, we'll just pay this guy and have him get us listed and not have to follow the rules that everyone else has to follow. And by the way, clowns, because I know you're listening right now, if you try to get smart and contact the other contributors who can theoretically add you, I have multiple ways of countering that and finding out what you've done. But anyway, there's a reason why you can't just pay to be listed in the B1 Rolodex. And the reason is, I'm preserving the integrity of the data in the B1 Rolodex. If anyone can just pay to be listed, there's really no value in the data because you don't know who's paid for a listing. And the natural question arises, who would pay to be listed if they could get listed for free for being either FBA or B1? And the natural answer is someone who is either non-FBA or not B1. They don't have a proven track record of being for the community. Those are not people that we want on the B1 Rolodex. And for all we know, these could be people who aren't even quote-unquote black. Also, the money could be coming from those dark money dollars from either the Democrats or the Republicans, because they recently released that article regarding the Dems, but we know the Republicans do the same thing. But no, we're putting a value on the lineage. We're putting a value on being on code. And don't worry, I'm keeping track of just how much people are willing to pay to be listed on the B1 Rolodex. Because what it indicates is we have the value. Family, I want you to see this as a victory for us. Not just a victory for me, but a victory for all of us. Because we've collectively put a tangible value on being of the lineage, whether you acknowledge that or not. And the lineage is not something you can buy into. being on code, even if you're not necessarily of the lineage. I would guess about 4% of the people listed are not of the lineage, but it puts a value on being on code. This can't just be bought with a wad of cash. And don't get me wrong, I do value your contributions. In fact, let me shout out right now recent contributors: Sister FBA Queen, Brother Rodney, and Eber Manuel. Much respect, and thank you for your contributions. But of course, donating to the B1 Rolodex or the channel is very different than throwing a wad of cash at something to get your business listed. And this is something that the white supremacists can't comprehend. You see, most people who are white supremacists have access to more cash. Even other groups are papered up much more than we are, given access to loans and all types of things. And most of these people think that everyone is like them, that they'll just do whatever it is for money. Oh, I'll just offer to pay him this so that he'll take me off of the anti-blacklist. Oh, I'll just send him some cash so that I can get my business listed. No, not everything is for sale. And I have a homework assignment for you, family. I want you to look up this video from our brother Malcolm X when the FBI went to him trying to get him to sell out, trying to bribe him. Now keep in mind, Malcolm X was not in a good financial state at the time, and they knew this. They knew he had been betrayed by some of the people who he trusted, and they tried to get him to compromise his integrity. But listen to how Malcolm X maintains his integrity in this clip. It's not a very long clip, but that's my homework assignment for you. And imagine if our brother Malcolm X did not maintain his integrity. They would have harped on that information forever, putting it in our face. And that's how we need to think. Especially in the digital age, damn near everything is recorded. And even if it's not recorded on an electronic device, it's definitely recorded in the book of life. So we've got to keep our integrity. And I am by no means attempting to equate myself to our great brother Malcolm X, but just on a small scale. Imagine if I would have just accepted the money for someone to be put onto the B1 Rolodex. That person could easily take screenshots and put a receipt together showing that, hey, it really doesn't mean that much to be listed on the B1 Rolodex. Anyone could just pay to be listed. Again, discrediting the integrity of the data. Now, I don't hate on anyone who has their own business or wants to use the data from the B1 Rolodex and do their own version. Maybe you want to charge people to be listed or for marketing or whatever it is. And I've never discouraged anyone from doing that. In fact, I go over in multiple videos how you can easily go to the B1 Rolodex and download all the data for yourself. I purposefully left these things open. Same thing with the map. You can hit copy map or just download the entire KML and upload it as if it's your own, revising things to your liking. But not the B1 Rolodex. You could create a website or an app or something along those lines where people could pay a price to be listed. But that's not something we allow with a B1 Rolodex. And if something should happen to me, I encourage whoever picks up the baton to continue this standard. There have to be things in life that are worth more than just a wad of cash. And one of those things should be our integrity, and another one of those things should be our lineage and or our proven track record of being on code. So hopefully this clears up all the questions. I do want to shout out the winner of the raffle contest from the B1 Rolodex as well. That was brother Tata Man. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for being the one and only contestant / winner. And with all that being said, be one and be blessed, family. Peace.